here looking at the new Rogers LG Optimus Pad, which is LG's first entrant into the soon-to-be crowded Android tablet space. This is a 8.9-inch tablet running Honeycomb, and in the States it's been available for a while. It's called the G Slate on T-Mobile, and it's been widely praised as one of the best Honeycomb tablets currently available. As I record this video, which is on a Tuesday, it just came out on Rogers, and I'm just going to quickly give you a quick overview of the hardware and software. So let's just crack open the box. Anyway, as you can see, we've already had a look at it already, so we're not doing a real unboxing, but you know, there's the tablet. We'll look at that in a second. Just to show you what it comes with in the box, obviously you get your charger using a little mini kind of power adapter. So the charger is not mini USB. Now apparently that is because to rapidly charge such a large battery, I don't believe a USB can actually provide enough power. So these adapters can shove more juice into the tablet. And we have here a HDMI cable. It's a mini HDMI to full HDMI. This is a nice little bonus because some of the other tablets I've seen do not include a HDMI cable in the box. We have a standard micro USB to USB cable to hook it up to your computer. And we have another little adapter here, which is a micro USB to USB female adapter, which right now on Honeycomb or Android 3.0 isn't going to be of much use, but the recently announced Android 3.1 allows Honeycomb to act as a USB host, which means you can hook up a camera or a gamepad or a USB drive to the tablet and actually read files off it and read information. So that's nice that they included that cable. And obviously the manual and everything else is right there. So looking at the tablet, we'll look at some of the hardware first before I switch it on. So on the bottom here we have the USB connection, we have the HDMI out, we have some little sort of connections here, which I'm assuming are for some kind of dock accessory for the Optimus Pad. Turning to the other side, we have the power connection, we have the headphone jack, one of the speakers, the power button, which is a nice sort of size, and unlike some other tablets, which I shall not mention their name, is not actually, you know, a chore to actually turn on and off. And on the top we have the volume control, and the other side we have some more speakers as well. It actually looks like for some reason there's 3 speakers. Why it has 3 speakers I'm not sure, but I'll have to look into that. And flipping over in the back, we have I guess one of the standout features of this particular tablet. It is the only tablet that actually has 3D cameras. There's 2 5-megapixel cameras with flash, and that can record 3D video in 720p and standard video in 1080p, and through the HDMI out it can actually output the 3D in 720p and the standard definition video in 1080p. So that's an exclusive feature found on the LG tablets. And obviously, since LG makes TVs and Blu-ray players, 3D is a big thing for them, so they want to push that out. So having this allows you to record some 3D videos and play back them on your LG 3D TV. The screen is not 3D on the actual tablet, so you can't actually watch the 3D videos. But instantly you can actually preview them in their sort of like the red-green 3D mode, which is kind of cool. And if you're wearing 3D glasses, I guess the what would you call them, the polarized 3D glasses, you can actually look at the 3D. And the last piece of hardware we'll mention is there is a front-facing camera
2 megapixels.
2 megapixels. Thank you, Doug. So it's 2 megapixel front-facing camera for video conferencing, and with the there's a couple of different applications available for that. There's the Skype, which doesn't have video conferencing. There's Quick. There's Tango. We'll have to look into which ones are compatible with Honeycomb for video conferencing, which we can add to the video afterwards. A little title that you'll see scrolling by on the screen right now. So, powering it up. As you can see, it's standard Honeycomb lock screen. This is using Android 3.0, the first generation of Honeycomb. The recently announced Android 3.1, LG hasn't said when specifically it's coming out for the G Slate or the Optimus Pad. However, they have commented that it will be coming out sometime soon. I'm assuming if Acer and Asus are planning on releasing their updates in June, I would assume that LG would follow suit pretty quickly. So just quickly go into the settings so you can see a little bit of detail of some of the... so it's running, in actual fact, it's Honeycomb 3.01, which I'm assuming has a few little bug fixes over the very first release. And you can see things where you can actually look at the battery. That's one thing I wasn't 100% sure of the exact battery life on it. Doug,
it's 6,800 mega amp hours, I think it is.
6,800 milliamp battery.
Yeah.
Anything about how long it would run?
9.2 hours of video playback, it said.
So, I mean, comparable to most tablets on the market, you can get a full day of use, if not more, out of it. I'm assuming because of maybe the slightly smaller screen space, you might have a little bit better battery life in some of the 10-inch Android tablets. So, we'll scroll through, so obviously stock Honeycomb. You have your 5 different home screens here that you can scroll through. Your application drawer at the top here comes down. There's a bunch of applications that are being installed afterwards. So we have Angry Bird Rio, we have Amazon Kindle. But out of the box, with the Optimus Pad, you get the stock Honeycomb applications, which will be Calculator, Calendar, Email, Gmail, web browser. And it also includes Polaris Office, which I'm going to load up right now. Polaris Office allows you to open Word, Excel, and PowerPoint documents and actually edit them too. Because there is HDMI out, you will be able to present those documents on the big screen as well. So that's a useful productivity application that it comes included with. And the other two applications that I'll show afterwards that are pre-installed would be LG's 3D camcorder and 3D player application. Before I go into those, I quickly mention that because this is a Rogers device, there is a couple of pre-installed Rogers applications on it. We have the My Account application, which actually really isn't an application. It just is a shortcut to go to the Rogers website to view your usage. There's the On Demand application, which again is just a shortcut to the Rogers On Demand website. But because this is a Flash-enabled device, you will be able to sign into your Rogers On Demand account and watch TV shows and movies right on your tablet, because it's a fully featured web browser with tabs and everything else. And the last application that it comes with from Rogers is the Your Music application. As you can see, there's no SIM card installed right now. It asks you for the SIM card. It does require you to be connected to the Rogers wireless network to use it. And Your Music is a Rogers application for downloading music to mobile devices and well, paying for music and downloading it onto the device. To be honest, for myself, I'm not sure how much use I'd find from that. I'm probably just going to install, copy any music I have right onto the device. And obviously, with Google's recent announcement of Google Music, which is in beta in the US, which hopefully will be coming to Canada soon, I would definitely think that most people are going to be using other methods to get music on their device. So, I did mention I was going to look at the camera application, so we'll go into the 3D camcorder mode. So as you can see here, if I just tilt up the screen, it's a little bit hard to see on the video here, but it's shooting stereoscopic video right now. And if I touch the screen, I can go in and look at some of the settings. So you can change the white balance settings, the audio recording, video quality here is fine, super fine, and normal mode. You can change the 3D mode, so there's a couple of different options. There's mixed, which I guess is a mixture of yeah, I guess we're going to have to look at some of these options and detail them maybe in the text when we put this video up. But there's mixed mode, there's anaglyph, there's single, and there's a side-by-side video mode. So we'll do some research about what those different options give you when shooting 3D video. And oh, that's interesting. You can actually adjust the depth control when you're shooting video, which allows you to control how pronounced the 3D video effect will be on your resulting video. So that's the 3D camcorder. And if I go into camera mode here, this will be my 2D camera mode. So I can go in and change some settings here. Let's see, let's switch it to camcorder mode. So in camcorder mode, actually let me just tilt this back a little bit, and a little bit of glare. See, shooting like very glossy screen things in boardrooms is always very challenging. Time-lapse settings. Okay, here we go. So here are the settings for the regular camcorder. As you can see here, we have the full HD 1080p. We have high quality, which I'm assuming is 720p, low quality, and then a sort of high quality YouTube mode, which says 15M. I'm assuming that's 15 megabits a second video. That will make sense.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah. So as you can see here, the sort of 2D camera options are pretty comprehensive. From what I'm seeing is some of the best camera features on any of the Honeycomb tablets I've actually had a chance to play with. And those are the sort of exclusive apps. Obviously, if you haven't seen Honeycomb in action, the web browser is a fully Flash-enabled tabbed web browser, very much like a standard desktop web browser. So that's gives you a almost desktop-like browsing experience. In Honeycomb, there's obviously some changes to the way applications work. There's the email account's not set up right now, but you do get this sort of split pane view where you can have your messages on one side and then you actually can view them on the other side. Similarly, the contacts is changed from what you would find on a Android phone. And another standout application on any Honeycomb device would be Maps, especially if you zoom in and have the 3D mode turned on. So let's just zoom in here. And of course, it's a multi-touch screen, so let's actually just adjust this so you can see a better view of that. So you can rotate with your hand and pinch to zoom. And there we go, the 3D buildings start popping up. And then I'm going to just grab the screen and rotate it around. So definitely Google Maps on Honeycomb is pretty damn cool. You get that cool 3D sort of view and you can multi-touch on the screen. Touch sensitivity seems to be very nice. I mean, all the Honeycomb tablets have had excellent quality screens. I'm assuming this is an IPS panel. We'll have to look into that in more detail. But the viewing angles are actually very good. I'm tilting it off axis and I'm not really seeing any degradation in the way things look. Of course, has an accelerometer, so I can rotate the tablet any way I want and use it. And well, one thing we sort of forgot to mention, and maybe I need to like zoom out a little bit, is that unlike the other honeycomb tablets on the market, the Optimus Pad could actually be held in one hand. Now it's still held in one hand by somebody with a big hand, so it might not work for everybody, but it's a little bit more flexible as far as usability. I can actually hold it in one hand and maybe be scrolling through my email or through a web page or Twitter, whereas most other 10.1 tablets you really can only use them two-handed. So it's a little bit more suitable for commuting.
And it is an IPS screen.
It is an IPS screen. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So I guess there's not really much else to show. Oh yeah, I forgot. There are a couple of exclusive Rogers widgets which I need to show off. So there's a McLean's widget here, which basically allows you to scroll through some of the top stories on the McLean's website. And when you click on that, it just pulls up that article on the McLean's site. So that's the internet here is a little flaky, so this might not load right away. But come on. So there we go. We have this little McLean's application. Obviously, if you don't know, McLean's is actually owned by Rogers, so they're going to include that application on their device. And going back, we have a Sportsnet application, which again brings you to some top stories on the Sportsnet site. And again, Sportsnet is a website and TV station owned by Rogers. So Rogers is definitely using the this device as a showcase of how they're trying to use that sort of cross-media, bring different properties they have onto various devices. So that was a quick look at the Optimus Pad. I'm pretty impressed by it. It's excellent build quality, good weight and feel in the hand. The screen size, which is 8.9, and it's a 1280 by 768 resolution, so it's a little bit low resolution than the other honeycomb tablets, but it's actually, because of the smaller screen size, it actually has a higher pixel density, so it actually looks a little nicer. It's really a good compromise between the smaller 7-inch tablets and the larger 10.1-inch tablets, so I definitely would think this would be the tablet choice size-wise for me. Obviously, being a 3G tablet, you have to keep in mind that it's not going to be as cheap as some of the Wi-Fi only models available. It's not a an Asus transformer selling for $500. This is going to be a little bit more expensive. It's $700, no contract from Rogers, and as low as $450 on a 3-year term, and can take advantage of some of Rogers' data sharing plans. So if you're an existing Rogers customer and you have an iPhone or an Android phone and you're looking to get a new tablet and you don't want to have to get a new plan, you can always share your data with it as well, for a small additional cost. So once again, this is the Optimus Pad. Once we get a chance to spend some more quality time with it, we'll put up a full review, but I hope you have an idea. This is giving you a good idea what this tablet's all about.